You're now listening to the Sports Sips.
All things sports, the Sports Sips. You know what time it is?
Welcome back, Alex. It's been some times, guys. Welcome back to the Sports Tips. You know, I'm your host, Will. This is Al. We're sorry for the long layoff. We
Long layoff, man. That shit was bad, man.
Yeah.
That was really, really bad.
We have some things come up, all taken care of, so we'll be back weekly. But how you been now?
Been great, man. Been great. Been. You know, it's the fun time, free agency time.
This is all jokes aside. I think this is my favorite part of the season. I love the regular season, of course, playoff, Super Bowl, of course. That's all amazing, second to none. But the off season, I mean, there's something about wanting your team to do something and then they don't. Yeah, and
getting your hopes up.
Trading somebody or not getting the guy you wanted. But
we've been getting lucky the past.
And we've been blessed, very blessed to say the least. But super blessed. But we'll get into some stuff today. We'll get into some key free agent signings and some departures and maybe the Jalen Carter trade rumors.
Sure.
And some extensions. I guess we could kind of start today off with some key departures, right? So let's see. Reed Blankenship to Houston, right? Jahad Dotson to Atlanta, Nakobe Dean to the Raiders. Didn't even realize Josh Uche left. Is Sam Howell in Dallas now? I didn't see that.
Yeah. Not fake news, buddy.
Right. I don't know if I brought up Jalen Phillips, but yeah, all those guys gone. Any free agent that left that you wish we would have signed? I wasn't expecting.
I think, like, for me, like, I know we have Jahad, but Dean was the one for me, man. Dean,
Right.
I wanted to keep them guys together. But Dean was one, and then Blankenship was one too. But I'm more with Dean. I think we could have paid him, but he got a bag. So
his contract was, let's see, 3 years, $36 million. I don't have the guaranteed money here, but yeah, 3 years, $36 million. I think every free agent that left, I was prepared for.
Yeah,
Reed Blankenship was probably the one that surprised me the most. But this is like typical. I feel like this is typical Howie things. Like he builds up a safety, lets him go. Then he underperforms somewhere else.
Yeah, the Blankenship one though, it was weird because he didn't get paid that much, so he could.
Right, it was a 3-year, $24 million deal, which was $8 million a year. I thought Howie could have probably matched it. Yeah, it would have been okay. Jalen Phillips, which is the biggest one, the 4 years, $120 million, which was, in my opinion, a little too much. I thought anywhere from 20 to like 25, because you do overpay in free agency, would have been fair. Like, injuries is definitely like a concern. So like the 30 mil to me was a lot. I think it works for the Panthers, just for us. So like, in my opinion, it makes sense for the Panthers to do it. They won a big playoff. Well, they were in a big playoff game, should I say? And
that defense is already solid as it is.
Right. It makes sense for them. It makes sense for them. And then like Nakobe going to the Raiders, I kind of seen that happening. I think Jahad Campbell was ranked, I think, the 7th best linebacker when he was playing from week 1 to week 7 before Nakobe came back. We definitely have to see him in coverage more. And why did Vic bench him? I think Vic has a certain style about him. Like about his defense.
But I think when you seen Nakobe on the field, you saw the difference, though.
Of course,
difference in the front. Like he
100%.
was an animal. The only thing that was wrong with Nakobe was his injury. That's what really kind of like just, we wanted to sign him. He can't stay on the field, man. I mean, production when he's on the field, the last 2 years, he was incredible. Yeah.
The only thing that worries me is like it's something about when Vic benches you or you get less playing time. Man, like it's just something weird. Like he when he has his players, they perform there on the field. Like if he benches you, I feel like it's almost for a reason. I don't think he got benched for like behavior
Me
issues
neither.
or like
I
he
don't think he
sucks
got
or
benched.
anything like that.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
think
think
that
he. I'm
Nakobe
sorry.
came in. No,
Yeah,
go
that's
ahead.
the part. Yeah, my bad, because I'm excited, bro. We haven't
Yeah.
been here for
No,
like
you good, you good.
6 months, bro. No, but the whole Jahad, I think exactly what you said when you finished it off. If I was gonna let you finish, was
Yeah.
it was cause Dean, bro. It was cause Dean
Yeah.
wasn't. I don't think it was his play. It wasn't like a tough thing. It wasn't that. I just think Kobe just was the guy, bro. He was the
Yeah.
dude.
I agree with you 100%. Jahad Dotson leaving, I can probably care less about that. Those were the
That
four
kind of
major
hurt me, bro.
guys. Yeah,
That
and
kind
I,
Like I
I
was
could-
like, he's solid 3, man. Like you could find it anywhere, but I just like keeping dudes
so,
that's been in the system. You know what I mean?
somebody had tweeted like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll get like a number 3 that we'll put in motion and never throw the ball to." That's what
Yeah.
Jahad Dotson was, putting him in motion, not giving him the ball. So
Facts.
doesn't really bother me. I feel like we can find another number 3, even with higher upside, like
Yeah.
Jahad Dotson. But like I said, those were probably the 4 major free agent losses. I guess Jalen Phillips probably being the biggest surprise, but I wasn't too surprised in that 30 mil. I don't think Howie can or should have went to that number.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing surprising there in my opinion. Let's get into some key free agent signings. Roquan Woolen. If I'm saying am I saying his name right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Woolen. Just signed the linebacker from the Falcons last night. Arnold, I can't say his last name. Do you know how to say his last name?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that shit kills me.
But he gonna be a training camp body, man. These guys is all training camp bodies.
Yeah, and then I think Jonathan Jones
Yeah.
is another depth piece at DB, and then the tight end Johnny Mudden. I can't say his name. He's more of a
Good blocker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good blocker.
I would say this. Speaking of about Arnold, I think he had 8 sacks each of his last 2 seasons.
I seen.
Yeah, I honestly don't think he'll be a body for camp. I actually see him like making the team. I do see him like being a big part of the rotation. I don't think he starts above Jahad or Zach Bond, but based on some things I've seen, what people were writing about and stuff like that, I think he could be like a good important piece to our defense. We have to see it, of course, and then Woolen, I'm super excited about that. I actually love that. I think that gives us one of the best secondaries in the league.
Oh yeah,
It was surprising to me. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But he adds some speed back there. I think with the young guys, I think he's 26. So like, I think that was an amazing pickup. One that I didn't see Howie doing.
Yeah.
Is any of these surprised you, or are you waiting for something
As
else?
far as on linebacker, what's his name?
The Arnold.
The Arnold dude. I think for him, Jahad obviously dealing with an injury, so I think you bring a body in there. We still got Trouter there that I think should take a step forward.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think the snaps that he got, he didn't do horrible. He was just, I think he needs some more playing time, but I'm cool with it. And then as far as Woolen, anything's better than Adoree Jackson. And even though I don't want to do that, Adoree. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. But anything above Keely, exactly. Adoree, like I think he held up for what it was. But having an upgrade there is good.
Yeah, for sure. So like nothing surprising on like the free agent signings either, other than Woolen, in my opinion, but that wasn't like crazy. Am I expecting like another shoe to drop? No, I think this free agency class was kind of weak, in my opinion. So I don't expect like another big signing. I thought like Trey might have been a surprising signing, but I just don't see him spending that much money. Also, I want to touch into some of the re-signings in the extension. Jordan Davis on a 3-year extension, Brandon Mann, the punter, on a 4-year extension, and Michael Carter, who I thought was going to get cut for salary cut purposes, ends up renegotiating his contract, and we save a ton of money on the cap space. But as far as free agency, it was a weak class.
Dickerson.
And Lander Dickinson restructured his contract. He'll be a free agent after the 2027 season, which is super interesting because He's been talking about. There were some rumors about him retiring this offseason before he went to Colombia to do the stem cell treatment. So that's very interesting. I find it a little bit weird after the 2020 season that his contract's up, and concerning. So at some point I would like Howie, and we'll address this, I guess, on a different pod, like during the draft and stuff like that, to address that. Get ahead of it now. I don't know if he'll retire after that season, or we just don't resign him, whatever the case is. But I mean, he's been banged up over the last season and a half, and for them to do that is
no, it's crazy. No, I mean, I wasn't surprised too much because, like you said, once I saw the tweet, I said, all right, well, he's retiring soon. So, and then we not only do we have to worry about Dickinson, we got to worry about that Lane Johnson position where it's like, all right, what are we doing there too? Because it's like we're losing pieces. He's about to go. That line is it's not going to be the same, and that's our bread and butter. So yeah, I'm with you.
And it's like Tyler Steen, the guy.
Hell no, he's not, bro. Like, he's not the guy.
Yeah, and like in some weird, like, I don't find, like, I haven't looked anything up. I just feel like, Landon played some center in college and stuff like that. I do think like him at left guard, the weight is getting to him. I would prefer him to like lose like 15 pounds, but I guess that would be counterintuitive to playing the O line and stuff like that. But I feel like every time I see him come on, like, he looks like this. I swear to God, I haven't read this anywhere. This is just me talking shit, but he looks heavy as shit, and he walks off the field and sits down like he's heavy as shit, almost like the weight is uncomfortable for him. Again, I'm just making shit, talking out of my ass.
But I think that works when, like, it worked the Super Bowl run, 300 plus on the line. It worked when you're healthy, but if you can't maintain that weight, health wise and all that, and you keep getting hurt, then it's just gonna kill you in the long run. Like, it's going bad.
Agree. That was that for the key signings. I want to get into a couple things before we end today. Howie season. The reason I ask this is when we say Howie season, we know what we mean. We mean Howie's working. He's in the bushes hiding somewhere. Yeah, he's searching. Are you expecting anything?
Nah, I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I think, like, we started off the pod saying that we've been spoiled for the last 3 years. And I think real Eagle fans, I think the ones that's been here for a long, long time know how spoiled we've been for 3 years. Now, Howie, yes, once he got out of that cave, man, and they had him locked, up, he came out, he came with revenge and all that. But I think we're at a point where we got to kind of be a little bit realistic. Like, we got to be super realistic, and the money's got to get paid somehow. We got to pay these other players, man. We got to pay Q. We got to pay Coop. We got to pay all these players. Jalen Carter. We just signed Davis. I don't think a big move is coming. Now, I don't know. It's Howie. Yeah. And I think that's what makes it like so, like, well, I don't know, man. Like, we're not gonna do that, but it is Howie, and he does pull shit off, and he's one of the best cap manipulators in the game. He knows how to do it. But I honestly think that this is the year that we just chill a little bit.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I would say I don't predict any major moves. But I don't predict any major moves. I wouldn't be surprised though if he, finds a trade piece. I'm looking for him to make a trade with the Vikings for
Bernard.
Bernard, exactly.
And I think that's the one.
I'm not sure if that'd be a day 2, a day 3 pick, or whatever the case is. I'm leaning towards day 2, of course. But hopefully get something done. Add some depth to that DN position. I know you got Jalen Carter, who they like a lot, and Nolan Smith, who we like a lot. We like both of them a lot. But I still think that you need that guy so that we could, avoid some of the lack of pressure that we've had, over the last couple seasons. And I know we won the Super Bowl with a lot of pressure and stuff like that. I just think that wasn't real. I think we had a great playoff run. Prior to that, we were begging for another defensive end. The year before that, we traded for Robert Quinn. So I think we need to solidify ourselves with like a legit number 1 D end. If one of these guys can't emerge, like Nolan Smith or Jalen Carter, who turned it off and turned it on in the second half of the season. Nolan, same thing, but he was a little banged up. So I just don't think that we can go the Aziz route anymore, the Josh Uche route. I think you gotta go get a guy early. Go get a Jalen Phillips like you did, but just this time, let's just get it early. Let's get them moving. Let's get them rotating. So again, I don't predict a major Howie season move. Would I be surprised? Absolutely not, because that's what Howie does. But talking about crazy Howie moves and Howie season moves, this is just something that's been circulating the news, Twitter, Instagram, Jalen Carter trade rumor that I believe to the core of my heart is absolute bullshit. It's been confirmed a couple times now this week, but I mean, absolute bullshit. Something Micah Parsons started. Al, do you have any reservations though? Do you believe it a little bit? Because you strike me as okay, all right, good. Because you were striking me as somebody who may have believed it.
No, look, I won't be. I mean, when the first report came out, I didn't want to be like, "Yo, this is total bullshit." My first reaction was, "If we do this, we dumb as hell. Like this is just be dumb." And I know what Parsons says, but to be honest with you, even in that scenario, to send Parsons here and trade for Jalen Carter, I wasn't with either. Like I didn't want that at all. So like for me to sit there and say, "Oh, we're gonna send this guy here for I don't know for some." They talking about like one and one is not enough, like you know what I mean. But regardless, no, it's not going to happen. We're gonna get this guy his money. This is what this off season is going to be about: is getting Jalen Carter his money. I don't care about these. So other players.
You don't have any you don't have any problem. You don't think getting Cooper DeJean paid, Jalen Carter, Quignon paid. You don't think that'd be a problem?
Yeah, I think it is gonna. I think that's why we're not signing players now. I do think that he's sitting there thinking how I'm gonna do this, but I do think,
but just not. He's not the trade guy.
He's not the trade guy. Jalen Carter is not the trade guy. I know there's like character issues and just he's not the guy that you trade. I'm sorry. You just don't do it. Yeah, there is some concerns, but not concerns for me to trade him away. I think he's just a player that plays with heart, bro. You see it. I mean, can he grow up a little bit? Yes. Should he be spitting on Dak? No. Did I like it? Yes. So like it doesn't matter to me. No, but what I'm saying is like, yeah, he got some character building to do, but I'm not trading him away. That's not enough for me to trade him away. That's your
I'm with you too. I just think it's stupid. I think he can be. I think he's a top 3 defensive tackle in the league, especially when he's on, if not the best. So I think that's absolutely nuts. I do think we can get all of them paid.
So you think? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
It's going to take some maneuvering around, but I mean, for instance, we'll talk about this next guy, AJ Brown, real quick before we end it. Like, I think if you move AJ Brown, you get off that contract. You know that gives you space for Jalen Carter. I think extending Jalen Hurts in the near future clears up some cap space that allows Cooper DeJean and Quignon to get paid. Cooper's gonna be in a weird spot because he's playing nickel, and you do get paid market value, and he's a nickel cornerback, so he may get nickel money. I wonder how those negotiations will go, but yeah, so
I do think that cost you some bread, man.
Yeah, I do think that you can find a way. You know what I'm saying? Off 2027. Now we know that Landon Dickerson's contract is not going to be there. How much cap does that clear?
The Saquon deal starts lighting up a little
Saquon
bit.
deal. Lane Johnson's not going to be there. You're gonna have a left tackle on a rookie deal, or a right tackle, should I say? So I think cap space is clearing up for us in the near future. Landon, Lane, Jalen, Saquon, whatever the case is, like you'll have something clear up within 2027 to 2028. The thing is that these guys are probably getting paid sometime this year or next year. So how do you fit that under the cap? Does Howie want to spend cash? Does Jeffrey want to spend cash? Interesting questions. But it's for them to answer. The final thing before we get off, unless you have something else on.
No, I think you hit it on money. No, you hit it on money.
Cool. And I'm there. He's not getting traded. And Micah Parsons started a stupid ass rumor.
Yeah.
That he was, and Jalen Carter was never in that trade. Anyways, AJ Brown. So everybody that was in the market to trade for AJ Brown finds a receiver of some sort. I don't think any of them are of AJ Brown caliber, but reports are Howie has a price that he wants people to pay. He wants teams to pay, which is around a first and a second, especially if you want it done before the draft, because if we do it pre-draft, we know that we're getting hit with a $40 million cap. If it's post-draft, that it's we get to save around $14 million, and then there's some dead money on there, but it's not $40 million. He's sticking to his guns. Bills went on, and then they went to go get they paid a second round pick for DJ Moore. Uh, Romeo Dobbs goes to the Patriots on a 4-year, $80 million contract or something like that. So there's still some teams, I guess, out there that may want AJ Brown. Where do you stand on this right now? Keep him, trade him, wait.
I mean, see, the AJ Brown thing to me is like, I don't even think I spoke to you about AJ Brown yet.
No.
How do you feel about just him being on the team? That's why I want to, because I think it's split. Like the fan base is super split.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
This is how I feel. If you asking me,
yeah, I'm asking you.
If you ask me, I'm doing exactly what Howie's doing. You are not. I'm getting if DJ Moore.
No. But I get what you
feel about him being on the team.
Yes, I want to know your personal feeling. I don't care about the 1, 2, 1, 3.
Okay, whatever. I would prefer him to be off the team now, early, right? And then that way we can bring in our guys, our culture guys, and then we're done. But the thing is that if I'm not getting the compensation I want, I have a conversation with AJ. If AJ's willing to be like, hey, listen, in my opinion, they had a conversation already. Yo, AJ, if you keep doing the Twitter shit, I can't get the pieces I want. I think they came up with an agreement. I didn't hear this anywhere, obviously, but I'm just saying, I do think that there was like a stop the Twitter shit, just speak nice about the Eagles and Jalen, whatever, and all this other bullshit, and we'll trade you to the team that you want, as long as I get the compensation I want. But if you start this bullshit, you go into the Browns. Because I'm not. If somebody's gonna give me a second, third round pick, you're going wherever the fuck I'm getting the best value at. So I do think he has to shut the fuck up, and I think he has. So cool, play nice, and you'll get sent to the Patriots, you'll get sent to the Bills or wherever. Now, if I can't get the compensation though, like I can't take on a $40 million cap hit and not get paid for it. I would just wait post June 1st, and if nothing's there again post June 1st, then I'm just holding on to him.
So you're okay with AJ Brown on that sideline week 1 if he can't get moved?
I am, because you know what? At the same time, I am, because I just, I'm a big believer that Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo were a huge part of why the offense was the way it was. I don't know what Sean is going to offer on the offensive side, but I just don't think like it can get worse. And like,
if you think it can't get worse, then just why not just keep him?
Yeah, I would, but I don't know how AJ's feeling. I'm just going based off of the speculation and the bullshit that
because not to cut you off, but if we going by week 1, right, and you're saying I'm cool with him being there and not being a distraction, then I'm not trading you. If that's how I feel, then bro, I'm sorry. It's a contract. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and trade you because you want to be traded. If I know week 1 you're not gonna be a distraction because we got a new coaching staff, we got everything else in place for you to succeed. What quote unquote.
Right.
So not going nowhere.
I just don't know how bad AJ wants to leave. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing. Like, I'm just speaking off of, I think he wants to leave. I think that they don't mind getting rid of him, obviously, because they're open to it. So like, I just don't know. It's difficult because I don't know the relationship. Like, I just don't know how bad it is. And I don't know if he's saying like, yo, I prefer to be traded. Or is he saying, no, trade me? Like, you got to trade me before the summer. I don't know where I just don't know where it's at. And I know that the relationship is whatever, but I do think the relationship got better towards the end. I thought you saw a conservative effort to try to get him the ball. Like, they were trying to throw him the ball at the end, and they did. And he
folded. Call a spade a spade. He folded.
Yeah, and they went and they threw him the ball. Yeah, and he folded at the end too. But like, as far as trying to get him the ball, they did. They tried to get him the ball at the end, and they did. Some of them didn't result to wins. Like, it is what it is. It's just not Philly ball. Last season, that's not how we played. That's not how we won. But I just don't know the relationship. I just don't know how bad it is. So that's why it's a little difficult to answer that question in terms of like, yo, like, do you trade him or do you keep him? Because I don't know if he's saying I prefer to be traded or you need to trade me. And those are two different things.
I think we're not sitting in the office, right? We don't know we don't know the conversation. I could just only go based by what I see, right? When I see you winking at Patriots fans, I
don't like that.
Players, I don't like that. I don't like nothing that you've done the whole season, right? That's my point. That like, bro, I don't want to go week 1 and having this distraction again, bro. I love AJ. Thank you, AJ, for the ring. I appreciate it. Do whatever you got to do to get him out of here. Personally.
I mean,
and that it's gonna and that I don't want to sound like that fan that doesn't appreciate what AJ brought to the table. And he's a hell of a player. I think he's a hell of a player. But at the end of the day, I can't have this distraction. I can't have Jalen Hurts coming out week 1. And let me tell you something about Jalen Hurts, bro. AJ has basically threw his name in the dirt, man. Like know it. You know it. Everyone knows it. If you see Philly media, you see what he's done.
right.
And Jalen has stayed quiet on all
He's
of it.
carried himself well.
Carried himself very well. I don't want that again week 1. I don't want like if I'm Jalen Hurts, I am saying, yo, get him out of here. Get him out of here. That's what he wants. I don't want to deal with, and I think he earns that respect, bro. Like Jalen Hurts deserves to have someone that wants to be in that room, bro, and that believes in the way that I don't care if you don't want to throw it down the middle, even though I do care. But if Jalen Hurts want to play a certain way, bro, let Jalen Hurts play the way he wants to play. Why? Because we've seen him win. We've seen him win.
Yeah,
so
it's proven.
He's proven that the way he plays, we can win games. So if Jalen Hurts is, if AJ Brown can't get it together, which I don't think he can.
Yeah, he won't. If he's not getting the ball, he won't.
I think just let him go, and it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Personally. No, I mean I agree. Just to wrap that up, like I agree. Again, I know that the relationship may be bad. I don't know how bad. I don't know if it's like get rid of me right now bad.
Yeah.
If it's not, then just hold on. I think the best thing for Howie to do is get the best value for him.
Yeah.
And if that means holding him, I think you got to hold him, because just like that money you can't get back. This free agency class sucks. The NFL draft is okay. I mean, we're losing a massive player for a return that might not be worth it. Or you lose AJ Brown, you might not win a Super Bowl. You get AJ Brown, you're almost there. You get what I'm saying? So like,
and if you trade AJ Brown now, where do we pivot?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no pivot right now.
No,
it has to be worth it. It's not like I can say I'm trading AJ Brown, but if you look at the free agency class, we got a Puka and a Justin and a thing. Those are the guys in his class. Those are the guys in his top 7, top 8 class. None of those guys are available. None of those guys are available for trades. So no. So like you do have to get the best value. But that being said, we trust Howie, so we know Howie will get it done one way or another. So before we get off though. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I got a question for you, man.
Yeah,
because I've been sitting on this for a while. Pause. I was thinking, last year we said like, "Hey, man, we in the golden era. This is golden era, yeah. Like there's nothing stopping us. It's just this team is just gonna get better."
Agree.
You feel that same way this year?
I do, because I think there's one thing that Howie and Jeffrey Lurie have proven. When they have a down year, they have a great year the following year. Whether it's a Super Bowl or not, if there's a down year, there's a great year, or there's a good year, or there was a better year than the year before. I think that what they added in the offseason with Sean, with Ryan, from the passing game coordinator, and Jared Johnson, I think the core that they put on offense is potentially a superstar coaching staff on the offensive side. I genuinely feel what they did at the quarterback coach, what they did at the coordinator with the passing game coordinator side, at every phase of it. Losing Jeff Stoutland sucks, but if it was time, it was time. I don't know exactly the dynamics there either, but I think that the coaching staff on the offensive side, and we already know what the defensive side is, but on the offensive side, I think that they added some coaches that I want to get out of it. I want to get out in front of it now, because I know that they're going to be like, oh, they're not talking about it now, but they will. And this is just my opinion and my prediction. I just think that when the season is midway through, going into the playoffs, I think people turn around and go, though, that coaching staff is stacked. And I think we have another problem again next offseason, trying to get some guys that can replace QB coach and passing game coordinators and OCs. And so, but I predict something really good. And like I said, I trust Howie and Jeffrey. Every time there's a down year, there's always a good year. And that's been law for I don't know how many years now. So
that's fair. Yeah. I think that's fair. For me, I think I think if it works out like you say, yeah, I can see that. And obviously, I can't play two sides, but I'm just saying I do see more question marks than I did last year, or what I thought I would see this year.
No,
like, I didn't think the question marks would be so much.
Yeah,
and that's not on Howie, and that's like they didn't know about Lane. Well, they did know about Leighton Johnson, but they didn't know about these other aspects of it, the AJ Browns, everything that's mixed into it, the Stoutland and all these question marks that come with it. I do think we are seeing we're gonna see if we can prevail, but going into it now, it's like I didn't think I was gonna have that many question marks.
Well, I think also too AJ Brown, and this is I could be more. I'm probably more wrong than I am, right? But I think he's he's addition by subtraction. You getting rid of him, and that adds to the team. Like I think that defensively they had such a great relationship, and I think offensively is what held the team back, not just on the field, but in the locker room, in the media, and every sense. And I think once you get rid of that, and he is gone, and I feel like let me tell you something. We will not, and we will not, and we would not ever in our life be talking about the passing game. Even next year when AJ's gone, we're not going to be talking about it being bad or being good if we're winning games. Book it, guarantee it. Saquon's going to have 250 yards, Jalen with 140 passing, and it's going to be quiet. The only reason we talk about passing games is because of AJ Brown. I mean, it can't be terrible like it was this year. But I promise you, I promise you, the way when we won the Super Bowl,
it's no happy medium. That's why it was like really bad. Or the same thing. When
we won the Super Bowl, it was the same thing. We were talking about the passing game for a while.
Yeah, cool, but it wasn't
this bad.
Yeah,
exactly. As long as it's not this bad, bro, we're fine.
Anything is better next year than
exactly
getting 7 yards a quarter.
Yeah, so like whatever, but that's that. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be here weekly for sure. We'll take long ass breaks. So we'll probably be back sometime. Maybe next Thursday or so.
Yeah, Thursday. Unless there's some breaking news,
right? Unless there's a
Max Crosby or something like that.
Exactly. But we'll be back then, and then we'll have some maybe NFL draft news around that time. We'll be in Pittsburgh, so we'll see how we cover that and what type of content we'll make. But we'll touch on that a little bit next week. But until then, guys, we appreciate you guys always tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the good things you got to do to help us grow. We appreciate you guys, and Sports Tips out.
Yo, what up? It's Peter Rosenberg, Hot 97, ESPN, WWE, all that. I'm here. All things sports, the sports sibs. You know what time it is.